Okay, so again, I'm going to be giving my overall thoughts on these two episodes right off the bat. It's then we are going to go into a big spoiler section, so if you want to skip it, you know what to do. Alright, there'll be breakpoints in between. Alright, so episodes 4 and 5 of The Mandalorian Season 3 get a B. Overall, these are very fun, very good episodes with some nice character moments and a little bit of backstory building and some good world building overall. If there is a major detriment to this, it's the fact that we only have 3 episodes left this season, and I don't think we're anywhere near starting the main plot thread yet. It's just still a little too scattershot for its own good. Like I said, there are some perfectly fine moments in this, some perfectly good action scenes, and yes, we'll get to the references, but they'll be in the spoiler section. But, you know, again, it's just all kind of spinning their wheels, and it seems like just now at the tail end of the fourth to last the midpoint episode, for lack of a better term, not even a midpoint episode, it's the 5th episode. So yeah, it's just now it's like maybe they're starting to get this straight, but I'm not entirely sure because we had a whole episode where we followed characters that weren't even involved in the show. So yeah, again, it's just kind of confusing. Still, like I said, it's fun, so yeah, a B.
The Luke Skywalker X-Wing pilot from the Star Wars action figures collection, each sold separately.
I'm Jella. Want to buy a droid? Sure, what you got?
It's R5-D4 and the power droid.
Sold.
And here's Greedo, Han Solo, and Walrus Man.
You've had it now, Solo. Yeah. Greedo, it's Ben Kenobi and his lightsaber. We're in trouble. Let's get out of here.
Luke Skywalker X-Wing pilot, R5-D4, Greedo, and other action figures sold separately from Kenner.
Nagamaru!
It's the Star Wars creature Cantina that you put together. Action figures each sold separately. You can make them move on revolving discs with the action lever. You can even make them fall.
Gotcha, Hammerhead. Got him. I told you not to follow me, Greedo. You owe us money, Han Solo. You're not going to collect this time. Wow, what a weird place.
Kenner's new Star Wars creature Cantina. Action figures sold separately.
Okay, once again, this is the spoiler section. Skip to here if you want to avoid anything of true note here. Okay, so, yeah, episode 4 of The Mandalorian Season 3 is called The Foundling. It is a very quiet episode in a way. We get a little bit of Grogu's training to become a Mandalorian. They show him in a quick training session with another child who gets a little overconfident. They're basically playing like a game of paintball, and Grogu is able to use some of his Jedi abilities to win that battle. This then gets halted when I believe it's actually that child who then gets swept up by a dragon-like creature and flown off to be fed to that creature's babies. The child's father, who is the sort of big Mandalorian with the hammer, not the armorer, that's a different character, but I can't remember the other Mandalorians' names, unfortunately. The one who fought for the Darksaber in Book of Boba Fett is that foundling's father, I guess, and he gives chase, and Bo-Katan and Mando have to kind of work with him to rescue the child, which they do. That child, see, this is where it gets confusing. The child in this case is not Grogu. I'll say Grogu for that one. But they rescue the child and bring him back. As this is happening, the armorer makes some additional add-ons for Grogu's armor, including a little sigil. However, seeing the forge at work causes Grogu to flash back to basically his beginning which was during Order 66 and the attack on the Jedi Temple. He was trying to get to safety when a Jedi, I did not get the Jedi's name, but he is played by Ahmed Best, who you would better know as the suit and voice of Jar Jar Binks, and a character that got him way too much ridicule, and it is nice to see that, one, Jar Jar did get a little bit of a redemption during the animated Clone Wars series, the computer animated one, the long-running one, and not only that, but also that Ahmed Best is now getting a chance to do something really cool that isn't so mockable. And so, again, that was actually very nice. Like I said, this was a very, other than that, this was a very quiet episode. There's one more bit where Bo-Katan talks with the Armorer about possibly seeing the Mythosaur, and trying to think, and the Armorer at first kind of plays it off, but there is something a little bit more to it than that. Let's see. Yeah. See the Mythosaur, and she gets a Mythosaur sigil placed on a new piece of armor that she lost while trying to rescue the child. And she says something about possibly seeing it and what that could mean. And that doesn't get picked up in the next episode, which we'll get to right now, I guess. And that is the pirate, which I guess receives the return of Captain Shard, the Pirate King, a.k.a. Mossman from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Yes, I know a lot of people are also saying Swamp Thing, but to me he's more Mossman. Anyway, the pirates have returned to Navarro to basically harass Greef Karga even more. They're attacking the people. They've driven everyone out of the city. Karga has left no choice but to try to place a distress call to the Republic, and the Republic outpost is where the message is received by Commander Teva, who is one of the people who came to arrest Moff Gideon. And I try to think what else he had. He's the X-Wing pilot that's also popped up a few times throughout the show. He gets the message, and he wants to relay for help, but it's going to take too long. And this leads to another cameo. This is Yaz. I think it's Yaz Aurelius. I never got Yaz's last name. He was in the Star Wars Rebels animated series, which I watched like the first 4 episodes of and then never bothered with again. Timing sometimes. Anyway. Yeah, and Yaz points out that, hey, if you try to relay it, it might take weeks to get through everything. So maybe it would be better off for you to just go to Coruscant and, talk there. So he does. He goes to Coruscant. He goes to his commander. It was there. The commander is played by Tim Meadows, who's basically like, well, this is a non-affiliated world, And it's here we see Elia Kane again, and she suggests, hey, maybe you need to show them, let them get overrun by these pirates, show why you should probably become part of the Republic. And, Teva doesn't like that. It's like, yeah, that's really kind of a dick move. We should be helping people no matter what. And so Teva, doesn't get any permission to do anything, so he has to basically go out on his own and implore the Mandalorians to help Navarro. And, Mando does his best to lobby, and it seems that he's won over enough that they are willing to join in on this attack. They join the attack. They proceed to, they beat the pirates. They kill Shard. The last pirate basically chickens out and runs off. The other pirates are either killed or, they're either killed or, like I said, are taken hostage. And then we get an interesting coda, because throughout this, Teva has wondered what exactly happened with Moff Gideon, who should have been standing trial at this point. He has yet to do so. And so he again goes kind of off investigating. He happens across a damaged scout ship, which turns out was Moff Gideon's ship. Gideon is no longer there, and there's some Bespin armor embedded on the walls, which means it was possible that these were Mandalorians. As this is also happening, the armorer and Bo-Katan talk more. The armorer asks Bo-Katan to unmask and suggests that if she did see a Mythosaur, then maybe this is the call for all tribes of Mandalorians to reunite and reclaim Mandalore as their home planet. I should point out that as a side benefit of helping Navarro, the Mandalorians don't have to stay in this cave, this beachside cave anymore. Basically, they get the plot of land that Greef Karga promised Mando very early on in the season. Again, that's kind of the other problem, which does lead to the main problem with this, in that it seems like now we're finally getting the main thread of the season kicking up, with 3 episodes left, like, they did not pace out these 8 episodes well at all, unfortunately. I think, you know, the child episode probably would have done much better as like a 3rd or 4th episode. I mean, after you have Bo-Katan joining in, which I think was... Okay, so I guess maybe that was placed well, but then we also had the whole, like, the whole Elia Kane subplot thing with the doctor who gets outed and then lobotomized. Yeah, boy, I'm trying to remember this. Sorry. That whole thing happened throughout a majority of 1 episode, and it's like, again, that would have done a lot better, I think, to have been spaced out throughout those episodes, rather as a subplot in those episodes, rather than, you know, have it all be in one. And like I said, it's really affected the pacing throughout this whole series. And yeah, I'm guessing that something is happening. Either the Armorer is the traitor, or Bo-Katan is the traitor, which it seems likely that it would be Bo-Katan, but sometimes that could also be a red herring. The idea that Bo-Katan's followers have dismissed her, abandoned her and dismissed her, and she can't seem to get anything going, and now suddenly, because this tribe has accepted her back, that this is going to somehow help her to negotiate the other tribes into joining her side. I'm not entirely sure. That could scream red herring to me. But again, I don't know where this is going, and I don't know how they're going to fit it all into 3 episodes. So that is where the confusing aspect in all of this is coming through. Like I said, these episodes were not bad. I have to admit, I actually quite enjoyed them. I liked all of them entertainment-wise. They told a good story, but again, if you're trying to feed into a grander narrative, it's just not really working very well. So yeah, there's just that little bit where it's not quite working with me.
No life forms here. Wampa!
New Hoth Wampa, Luke Skywalker, and Han Solo in Hoth outfits, each sold separately.
I'll look higher. Wampa! Wampa! R2-D2, use your sensor scope. I can't find Luke. Hey, you big fur coat. Try me on for size. Wampa, 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 Wampa. Thanks, Han. And you too, R2. Oh.
New Hoth Wampa, R2-D2 with sensor scope and other action figures, each sold separately from Kenner's Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back collection.
Long ago, in a galaxy far, far away, the Star Wars saga began, and Kenner continues the excitement. It's AT-AT, the all-terrain armored transport from Kenner. Batteries not included. You can make AT-AT walk. You can make AT-AT's legs crush some obstacles. AT-AT has a cockpit for Imperial Commander and AT-AT driver. Action figures each sold separately. When you push a button to fire the laser cannon, you activate battle lights and sounds. There's even a troop compartment. AT-AT from Kenner Star Wars Return of the Jedi collection. Action figures each sold separately.
Okay, so the next time we'll be covering The Mandalorian will be after the finale, which is episode 8. So, 3-week break in between these types of reviews here. Obviously, the next video is going to be the WrestleMania 39 prediction show, and then the WrestleMania 39 recap and review. Those will be, I know it's over 2 nights, but it's going to be one video. I'll be recording Saturday night, and then I'll record Sunday night and merge them together. So that's how that's going to work. Then after that, it's going to be the Super Mario Brothers movie review, and then the random trade review on coincidentally another Star Wars thing, Tag and Bink. See you all next time. Hey guys, remember you can request a movie or a television series for me to review at my Patreon at patreon.com/CPTime for Cat Productions. Also, remember to like the video, comment, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you can be alerted to further videos.